And welcome to the Lagos studios of IATV. I am Adegboyega Labiron with the news. The Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, has reopened the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MIA, Lagos for flight operations following Tuesday's incident involving an Air Peace aircraft at the airport. The General Manager, Public Relations, NAMA, Halid Emele, confirmed the development today in Lagos. Emele said notice to MN NOTAM was issued to airlines at 7 p.m. concerning the reopening of the runway, which was closed after an Air Peace flight from Port Harcourt made an emergency landing at the airport. The runway was shut for flight operations at about 11:28 a.m. after the Boeing 737 aircraft registered as 5NBQO made a hard landing and lost its nose wheel. Lagos State government today began massive demolition of shanties, shops and structures built on setbacks on the stretch of Eric Moore to Trade Fair on Lagos Badagry Expressway. This is in a bid to clean up the entire stretch of the road to pave way for reconstruction and putting the road to use in good time. The move is in line with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's zero tolerance on environmental degradation and pollution, as well as tackling traffic menace in the Lagos metropole. The state government had issued a 6-day ultimatum to traders and others whose businesses encroached on the right of way of the highway to vacate their structures. Lagos State government today declared a zero tolerance of operators of illegal abattoirs and slaughter slabs in addition to waste mismanagement and unhygienic handling of meat in the state. The declaration emanated from a joint stakeholders meeting between the state ministries of the environment, agriculture and operators of abattoirs and slaughter slabs in Lagos State at the Ministry of the Environment Conference Room, Alausa. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of the Environment, Abiodun Bangoye, who chaired the meeting, maintained that the state government will not condone any act of uncleanliness in meat processing and delivery, adding that attention will be given to all areas of food supply chain, with emphasis now on the consumption of wholesome meat by the citizens. He warned that all abattoir operators in Lagos State should ensure they undertook their environmental sanitation exercises on Sundays as agreed by the association, adding that wastewater and blood generated from meat processing should be adequately discharged in the drains, as well as the drains kept free from silt and overgrown weeds. Observers of developments in the nation's economy have expressed hope that the names of former ministers featured in the ministerial list of President Muhammadu Buhari currently being screened by the Senate will give such ministers the opportunity to complete projects they started in the last 4 years. IATV News spoke with some analysts on what the names in the new ministerial list portend for the nation's economy in the second 4-year term of President Muhammadu Buhari in office. Altogether, 43 names were submitted for screening, with 17 of them having served in the last dispensation, while 17 of them in the last dispensation were dropped, while 11 names submitted are considered as new entrants into the Federal Executive Council. Here is the report. A total of 43 names of ministerial nominees submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari to the Senate for screening was described by observers as a parade of political stewards of the stock of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Names of ministers who served in the first term of 4 years of President Buhari reappeared in the new ministerial list. Amongst these names were Rotimi Amechi, Adesirika, Babatunde Fashola, Lai Mohammed, Godfrey Unyama, and Chris Ngige. President Buhari also considered new names to compensate those politicians who supported his re-election bid for a second term in office. Amongst these names are Rauf Aregbesola, George Akume, Godswill Akpabio, Gbemi Saraki, Festus Keyamo, and many more. IATV Business News spoke with some economic analysts. We started by asking them to tell us what the new list of ministers portend for the nation's economy.
The major thing important to us is that of consolidation. Because the minister has started some projects under his leadership. We went through recertification by FAA and we're in 2017 and we're able to sustain it. We also commenced certification of the international airport. We have 5 of them. 2 have been done successfully. And starting with Lagos, we have done Abuja also, followed with Abuja. Now we are on Kano, and after Kano, closely to follow with the Port Harcourt, which has also commenced at 2.
In our related development, we asked to know where they would like to see the nation's economy in another 12 months.
It's an admixture of hope and an admixture of, looking at it that will these people really take us to Eldorado. Nigeria entrusts a lot of confidence in them. Nigeria believe that they are there to serve the people. Nigerians believe that they are there to take the country to the next level.
Analysts were of the view that the reappointed ministers will have the privilege to complete the projects they started. A case in point is the new rail service and the suspended initiative of the new national carrier. 2 chieftains of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Lagos State, Lanre Razak and Risikat Adegeye, have commended President Muhammadu Buhari over the choice of ministerial nominees from the state. The chieftains who gave the commendation while speaking with the newsmen in Lagos said Buhari had acted well by picking the 2 ministerial nominees, who includes former Lagos Governor and immediate past Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, and the Managing Director of Nigerian Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, Senator Olorun Nimbe Mamora, from the state. They described the nomination of Fashola and Mamora from Lagos as a welcome development. The Lagos State Examination Board has released the results of 127 pupils who sat for its computer-based test (CBT) examination into its model colleges and upgraded junior secondary schools (JSS). The board's public relations officer, Fatai Bakari, said that all the candidates who sat for the CBT exam from July 15 to 19 had successfully received their results. Bakari explained that the results were sent from the registered email boxes or telephone number of the parents or guardians of the pupils, adding that the board had begun processing results of the paper pencil test (PPT) examination, which was held on July 20 in 43 designation centers. He urged parents to exercise patience as the results of the PPT examination will be released at the completion of the processing. More than 11,897 pupils sat for the PPT test for admission into the state's 16 model colleges and upgraded junior secondary school. The federal government says it is committed to facilitating community policing across all states in Nigeria. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stated this in Osogbo during a closed-door meeting on security matters with traditional rulers in Osun State, as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. Osinbajo described traditional rulers as the interface between government and their various communities, asking them to intensify support in the fight against insecurity. He said government will strengthen security operations in the southwest, especially around the forest across the zone. The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, expressed optimism that the country will win the battle against insecurity.
Trying to understand the security architecture of the state and also trying to understand where the difficulties may lie. And we agreed on a number of steps that need to be taken. As you know, we've already held consultations with the state governors and all the state governors, including the state governors of the Southwest. We've also held consultations with the service chiefs. So this stage of the consultations with the traditional rulers is very important because they are a most important component of the security architecture of the state.
The program that the government have put in place, we believe it's going to work. We are very happy about the program of neighborhood watch and community policing, which we've been talking about for a very long time. And this will give our subjects, especially the diaspora people, that their input is very significant to various communities, because they are always afraid now. They don't want to come home. But with what is happening now, we need them to start coming home. We want to assure them that we have very positive programs in place. The Vice President being directed by the President to come across the entire Southwest. So those programs, we will monitor them very closely for implementation. It won't be a regular.
The monarch noted that the traditional rulers of the state will give maximum support to the presidency to win the war against security challenges facing the country. The Ogun State House of Assembly has given the suspended 20 local government and 37 local council development areas LCDA's chairman July 25 to submit 30 copies each of the report of their stewardship for the last administration. The suspended chairman served from 2016 to 2019 in the various councils and 2017 to 2019 in LCDAs are to submit the reports to the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. The Assembly also noted that the report was expected to illustrate the income and expenditure of the councils as well as achievements and challenges during the period under reference. The Speaker of the Assembly, Olakunle Oluomo, who gave the directive during plenary held at the Assembly complex, Okemoson Abeokuta, also demanded the ministry to forward the reports to the Assembly by Monday, 29 July 2019. Still in Ogun State, the Ogun State government has set up a committee to review contracts and projects embarked upon by former Governor Ibikule Amosu in the twilight of his administration. Secretary told the state government, Tokunbo Talabi, said the committee will be chaired by Adekunle Mokuolu, while the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Sunday Adeyemi, will serve as the secretary. The committee is expected to carry out the assignment essentially to identify all outstanding significant construction and projects in the state with a view to ascertaining whether or not there was a budgetary provision for the projects in the budget estimates for the year under review. They are also expected to ascertain whether the process of award of contracts was in line with the established procedures and necessary regulations. As insecurity in Nigeria deepens, some concerned Nigerians have linked the rise in the number of unemployed youths to the inability of government at all levels to attain the security of lives and property of Nigerians. They share their views with ITV's Faith Agbetuya, and she brings the report.
Unemployment reflects the plethora of contemporary societal challenges that endangers adequate human capacity building and material utilization globally. In Nigeria, recent figures obtained from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that youth unemployment rates in Nigeria recorded an average growth of 23.63% from 2014 until 2018, and that almost 50% of Nigerian youths are either not employed or underemployed. Some respondents who spoke on the reality of the state of youths in Lagos said the recent rise in criminality and insecurity of Nigerians is a reflection of the high rate of jobless youths. However, others said that the problem of insecurity remained a hard nut which has proved too difficult to crack because of the selfish interests of Nigerian leaders and their elites.
People in the helms of affairs, they are not actually taking people into consideration. They pursue their personal agenda more than the national interest.
We don't plan for the youth in this country. Due to what? Due to our highlights, not caring about the less privileged children. They know all these things. They have been traveling all around the world.
Because people couldn't get a job and they must eat. So what would they do? They'll find something now, either legally or otherwise. If you settle the youth, in fact, if there is electricity, youth will find something to do that will be profitable instead of joining the bad aspect, which is insecurity, kidnapping people.
For a public affairs analyst, Jide Johnson, the nation's insecurity issues can only be solved when the teeming Nigerian youths are adequately and positively engaged, as well as security operatives better equipped to keep the nation safe.
I do want is the devil's workshop, and I do want, if you don't have any meaningful ways of engaging your youth, you know some of the challenges we have had, that we have glossed over it because of insecurity, the issue of drug addiction, the issue of Yahoo 419 scam among our youth, now the issue of this insecurity. All of this issue put together has to do with the economy. If the economy is thriving, if the economy is booming, if there are opportunities for people to make money legitimately, we will have this crisis in society.
Jide Johnson stressed that Nigeria's security challenges may remain unresolved if community policing is not taken more seriously, since criminals can be better identified by individuals in their immediate environment. Faith Agbetuya, IATV News, Lagos.
And now the stock market report. Stockbrokers traded in a total of 157 million ordinary shares valued at 2.523 billion naira. At the close of trading today on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, GTBank PLC recorded the highest volume of trade with a total of 33.59 million ordinary shares valued at 971 million naira. UBA PLC came second on the activity chart with 30.73 million ordinary shares valued at 173 million naira. Seplat PLC led the pack of gainers with 45 naira to close trading at 525 naira. Nigerian Breweries PLC came second on the gainers chart with a 3 naira 90 kobo gain to close at 60 naira. On the other hand, Nestle PLC topped the losers chart with a drop of 27 naira and each share value to close trading at 1,300 naira. Dangote Cement PLC also dropped 3 naira in its share value to close trading at 171 naira. All-share index closed trading at 28,088.74 points, all in 3,253 transactions. While market capitalization ended today's trading at 13.689 trillion naira. And that's the size of our package from the Lagos studios of IATV. I am Adegboyega Galabiron in Lagos, thanking you for letting us be a part of your evening, and now returning you to our studios in Ibadan for the rest of the news. Good evening.